I am so excited for today's adventure, as this feels incredibly nostalgic for me whenever I am able to do this. I remember being younger and saving up my money to wander into the bookshop and just be excited to find potential new reads, which were going to be my favourites. Not having pre-thought out my wish list or what's popular right now, and buying stacks of books that I truly was excited about, each and every one of them. So today we are embracing that same energy. For some context, I live on a small island with only 2 local really small independent bookshops and my library, which I also cannot lie does not have a huge catalogue. So I hope it translates just how magical it is to walk into each of these bookshops today. Come along as we go book shopping for some hopefully great reads. Hey bunnies, and welcome back also to Will and Bunny, a cozy space to talk about books. Today I'm very excited because we are in London. We are away on holiday for a few nights, and of course we are going book shopping. As you very well know, the small island that I live on only holds about 2 bookshops, and they are absolutely tiny independent ones. Anyway, I am so very excited to explore the city, go on some adventures, but most of all take you book shopping with me, and of course give you a book haul. This is one of the main times which I ever get to just browse in a bookshop in quite a big variety of books and just get lost and embrace my inner book lover. So I can't wait for you to join me. I hope that you enjoyed this adventure as much as I know I'm going to. So grab yourself your most warming hot drink, a cozy blanket, and let's go. So I've actually got a few books to show you already. I've actually been filming the bookshop montage as I have been going. So as you can see on a stack behind me, I've got quite a few books to haul. So let me haul them for you now. I'm equally excited about each and every one of these for a plethora of different reasons. I have read so many backs of different books and picked out these ones, so I cannot wait to show you. First of all, on an unrelated note but a Jellycat related note, so it is kind of related to me, is this little raindrop. How cute is he? I have named him Boots. I think he's absolutely adorable, and I wanted him since I saw him come out, and I love his little Wellington boots. They're so cute. I firstly got a prescription type thing from the Lush Poetry prescription place, in which I thought was so cool, and you pick out your pills of choice and what you want your medicine to be. So for mine, I have picked out Be Original, in which I am very excited to open all of these pill capsules because each of one of these contains poems. And yeah, the people who were serving were so lovely, and they ask if you want a prescription, so they write you a little prescription in which details all about the special instructions you should take, the prescribed pills, etc. And I just thought it was such a cute concept and so poetic in its nature, which fit right in with this. So it's not necessarily a book, but it's still very equally exciting. So we have a book that I have already read and finished on this holiday, which is ᴏᴘᴇᴜ. This was by the same author who wrote Bloom. I absolutely adored Bloom so very much, and I adored this book equally. I thought it was packed full of, don't get me wrong, absolute gore and disgusting and grotesque descriptions that had me having visceral reactions, but it was so good, the way it was constructed, the way that the characters were dealt with, the moments that was happening, and I loved the intro into this book. I don't want to spoil it. I feel like this just needs to be read for you, and you will understand how much I love this book, because I feel like it's wrong to say I adored violence, but when you read the introduction of this book, you will understand why it's so impactful and moving and powerful. And yeah, I thought it was phenomenal and had a great time reading it, so very glad I picked this one up. And I definitely think Delilah S. Dawson is quickly becoming a favourite author, because that's 2 for 2 now that I have absolutely adored. So yes, I recommend this one, but not if you're squeamish. Then I have one that I'm currently reading, which is Free Therapy. I thought this one was quite cool. It was on the buy one get one half price. I get a lot of my books from there because shopping online and doing independent bookshops, I never get those deals. So whenever I come to London and experience bookshops, I always love the buy one get one half price. And so yeah, I picked this one up, in which I again just absolutely am enjoying so much. It has commentary on relationships and social standards and womanhood and just complex relationships around therapy and people's feelings and emotions. And I just love that it's a short story collection, and I am a couple short stories in now. I also have my Hatchards bookmark, which I'll speak more about later because I ventured into Hatchards. And yeah, again, really enjoying this so far, so I recommend it so far. And we're getting into the books that I haven't yet read, but still I'm equally excited to do so. First of all, we have The Lamb by Lucy Rose. I saw a video by the author in which they were talking about it, and I know that it's gained a lot of traction recently, but when I saw her originally speaking about it, it just sounded so up my street, and so that's why I ended up purchasing it. And yeah, I'm just very excited to get to it. It just sounds so much fun, and I'm just equally excited to experience, I think it's like cannibalism and relationships. And yeah, in this tender coming of age tale, we explore how women swallow their anger, desire and animal instincts and brings their relationships between mother and daughter until blood drips from it. So if that's not intriguing, I don't know what is. So again, excited to get to this one. And then in terms of the next book, I picked up this exclusive edition from Waterstones. But the reason I picked it up is because I read the first few pages. I was just so enthralled by the writing style. I'm not quite sure 100% what this is surrounding, but I think it's got commentary on gender. And like I say, I haven't really dived into it. I just read the first few pages and was just so intrigued. But yeah, I thought it was just so interesting. The thing about it's deep in the forest, a group of restless lumberjacks working a legal lodging outfit plan a winter dance that some will volunteer to attend as women. The broadest, strongest axeman finds himself caught in a rivalry with the pretty Jack that accumulates in jealousy, betrayal, and astonishing spectacle after transition. So yeah, it's like gender apocalypse in here as well, and just find it so interesting. Then we have another book that I've had really, really good things about. I think it's to do with vampires and maybe kind of like a Carmilla retelling, and that is Hungerstone. Again, just read the first few pages and fell in love with it, and in the back it says it starts with blood, and I love a vampire read, so I had to add this one to my collection. The rest of the paperbacks in which we have here, I think are basically all from the buy one get one half price in some sort of form, apart from I finally found The Moving Finger, and I found it in Hatchards. And I'm so glad I did, because I've been wanting to visit Hatchards for the longest time and have never done so, and they had like a whole Agatha Christie section and haven't been able to locate this one. So if you didn't know, I'm currently making my way through my Agatha Christie kind of era, I suppose to call it, and I have been missing The Moving Finger, and I did borrow it from the library, but now I don't really need to because I really wanted to own and collect all Agatha Christie novels. So very excited to get to this one, and very glad that I have fond memories of buying it from Hatchards. And then yeah, I think all of the rest of these are from a buy one get one half price. So first of all, we have How to Be Somebody Else, and a lot of these I picked up just based on keywords that were calling to me and just a little bit of plot summaries. So this is a debut novel about 30-something's tangled web of lust and literary oomph. So I think that in itself just sounds so fun, and it's basically like this person trying to be someone else and catching up in their webs of lies and deceit and leading this different life and what that feels like, and that just intrigues me. I love a good kind of like women's lit fic, figuring out life, unhinged style writing, and I feel like this is what is drawing me to this one. And we have, on a similar kind of tone, Mona of the Manor. So this book follows Mona, in which she is dealing with owning this house and all of that comes with holding and hosting guests, dealing with her new life after marrying someone just purely to get them a visa, and also an adopted son. So I kind of like that life trials and tribulations again, an exploration on this woman just going through life and experiencing it and what may come of that. Next up was a book on my eagerly highly anticipated releases, and that is The Healing Season of Pottery. I didn't know this one had actually released already, and so when I found it in the bookshop I was so excited. This sounds like my sort of typical love, in which is a trans translated fiction story of whimsy, of magic and moments and storytelling that is woven in with life's trials and tribulations, learning lessons, and having a foundation based somewhere in which is the kind of continuation throughout the story that kind of leads the story and is the one sticking point in the mud, in which I just love it so very much. And I'm just so excited to see how pottery is woven into this as well. And then on a similar vein, we have the convenience store by the sea. So in this one, I think the convenience store is obviously the one sticking point in the mud in this, and then you're going through and seeing the customers' different lives, their different experiences, the whimsy, magic, trials and tribulations of life too. So this one has been on my release as well, and I love the little black cat on the cover as well. I think he's so cute. And then we have one which I've heard really good things about, and that is Good Lord. I believe that it's a commentary about landlords and the different feelings that people have towards them, maybe also the different conversations that they've had as well. But yeah, it doesn't really say much, and I don't really want to know much, but it seems like it's done in sort of a different format. So I think it's maybe like conversations had with landlords and commentary on that. So very intrigued to read this one. And then also we have this, which I saw on stands everywhere. And as you know, based on my Agatha Christie reading, I've got into murder mysteries. And because it was a translated fiction, that just won me over. And that is Murder at Mount Fiji. And on the back it says, a rediscovered classic from the Japanese queen of crime. And that just sold me. And so very eager to find this. I did read the inside flap of it, and it sounds so much fun. It sounds like there has been a murder that's happened, and it doesn't sound like the person who did the murder would be capable of murder, and there's a family kind of locked in this hotel or house perhaps, and they're trying to figure out who has motives, who did the crime, what that actually means, etc., etc., which again, very eager to get to. Then we have the last couple of ones, in which let's go with the fantasy. First of all, we have The Serpent of the Wings and Night. A lot of people have recommended this to me. A lot of you have recommended this to me. I read Six Scorched Roses not too long ago and absolutely fell in love with that. And I think it's linked into the series, although now I'm questioning myself. But again, I've been wanting to read this series for quite a while, and I think this is the first book. I hope it is the first book. But yeah, I'm just wanting to see the characters from that segment again in these series. I think there's like different books that people are in and etc, etc. I'm sure I'll learn as I go on. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what all of this is about, because I loved the writing style in Six Scorched Roses so much. And then we have A Fate Inked in Blood. I mainly picked this one up because it just sounds like it's, well, it's obviously fantasy romance, but it's also just a lot of a female revenge story and female empowerment and kind of womanhood, and I just love that in fantasy. I'm loving that in my general fiction, and so I'm wanting it to seep into a bit more fantasy, because I'm not really leaning towards fantasy at the moment, so perhaps this will transition me back into it. And then the very final book I have to go through today is one in which I know is a very hyped book indeed, and that is Good Material by Dolly Alderton. I know this again is about messy love life and this guy who was broken up with, and he's just trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong, and it's kind of like a reflection novel on that, and also a reflection novel not only on himself but situations and going through life trials and tribulations, which I absolutely adore. So very eager to read this one as well, and cannot wait to see what it's all about. So that is the little book haul I have for the time being. I will update you if I have any other books that I acquire along the way. But for now, I think some more book shopping perhaps, maybe a trip to Kew Gardens, and yeah, so hope you enjoyed that little book haul segment, and perhaps there might be some reads in there which you're eagerly anticipating reading, or perhaps you've read and loved. I'd love to hear. So yeah, let's proceed with the rest of our adventure. just thought I'd do a little update to close out this video and say I am now home. I had the most wonderful time. It was such a lovely experience and I just enjoyed book shopping so very much, and I'm so thankful to you for coming along with me. I hope you loved it as much as I did, and thank you ever so much for joining this adventure today. I hope that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you have a wonderful day or night. Until next time, friends. Bye!